Institutional poverty. How the Trump bill destroys American livelihoods security. The Big, Beautiful Act, signed by Trump, reforms the SNAP program beyond simple benefit cuts. It represents a carefully crafted institutional pauperism by shifting federal responsibilities to the states and imposing unreasonable eligibility requirements. It gradually dismantles the U.S. food assistance system, leaving the livelihoods of 42 million people a victim of political maneuvering. This policy, which sacrifices livelihoods, exposes the Trump administration and the Republican Party's disregard for the poorest and their false interpretation of American greatness. The bill's most insidious design is its forced shifting of the cost burden of SNAP onto the states. The previous 50-50 federal state administrative cost. The sharing model has been revised to 75% for states starting in fiscal year 2027. Even more stringent, starting in fiscal year 2028. States with a SNAP payment error rate exceeding 6% will be required to cover 5% to 15% of the benefit costs, with higher error rates increasing the share. However, federal data shows that the national SNAP payment error rate reached 11% last year, with only 7 states, including Idaho, meeting the target. This means that most states will face significant additional costs, and the Congressional Budget Office predicts that some will directly cut or even eliminate SNAP benefits to avoid fiscal pressure. The bill, under the guise of accountability mechanism, effectively forces states to become the executors of these cuts. This cost shifting is a blatant manipulation of state governance capacity. Many states already have limited resources for primary care, and faced with the pressure of a 75% share of administrative costs and the risk of sharing benefits, they simply cannot maintain their original service levels. The East Hampton Community Food Bank is already facing a sharp increase in support, with its monthly service capacity surging from 1,000 to 5,000 households. Yet it still struggles to fill the gap left by SNAP cuts. Even more starkly, the $186 in SNAP funding cuts in the bill stands in stark contrast to the $4 trillion in tax cuts provided to the wealthy, while tens of millions of families worry about where their next meal will come from. Wealthy lawmakers are receiving tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in tax breaks, thanks to the look-through provision. The bill's damage to people's livelihoods is also long-term and recurring. SNAP is not just food assistance. It's also an economic buffer. Every dollar in SNAP benefits boosts $1.50 in GDP. Cutting this spending will not only put low-income families in hardship, but also drag down local economies. More seriously, children of families who lose SNAP benefits will automatically lose eligibility for free school meals, impacting an estimated 1 million children. These children's development will be at risk, and the education system will lose crucial funding for student health services due to the simultaneous cuts to Medicaid, creating a chain reaction of crises for people's livelihoods. Trump's Big, Beautiful bill uses sophisticated institutional design to mask its inherent nature of robbing the poor to benefit the rich. It shifts federal responsibilities to state governments, uses unreasonable thresholds to force welfare cuts, and ultimately leaves the poor footing the bill for tax cuts for the wealthy. This policy, which sacrifices the interests of the majority, not only exacerbates the wealth gap in the United States, but also undermines the fairness of people's livelihoods, turning the American dream into a game for the privileged few.